I just see people too many times be like, oh, it did. Yeah, okay, cool. I got to sell, but it didn't make me money. It's like, yeah, but you got to sell. You went from knowing nothing to like now you just did all these systems, ran these ads, spent some money and all this stuff, and you actually got to sell. So like that's a really good start. So I just see that as the fact that you're that new at all this, but you were able to actually get ads up that made a real sale. Like, dude, that's a lot. What more can you really want at your very very first go at running an ad? I mean, that's amazing.
I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I am. I'm not complaining.
But now we got to make them profitable.
You were the one whose video I saw that said, "Don't do ads through Instagram. Do it through Facebook." So I said, "Okay, great." So I put $30 in, whack-a-rooney, and I think I got some people.
That's always such a good thing to see, even if it's not profitable, even if stuff's not set up perfectly. Like just the fact you're making sales already, there's only room for improvement, which means more sales, more profits. So like I don't know, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think anybody. My secretary got all nervous about how we can input the stuff. I'm talking to the accountant, what, and I'm like, Sue, we're probably not even going to have any sales. And over the holiday weekend, I had 9 sales. I was walked to the post office yesterday with a bag full of orders. I mean, it was great. It's terrific.
That's awesome.
And today we got an order as well. How many pixels can you have? I guess that's that's a question. I mean, again, they make it really complicated.
I forget what the I forget what the exact number is. You can have quite a few.
But I only have one installed in Squarespace, right? That's all that's all I need is Squarespace.
Right.
Community.
So in your case right now with your one website, your one product.
I have 16 products.
Are you selling all of those on your website right now?
I bet your buns.
Okay. So just forget I said that a little bit then. So I'll say, with your one brand, let's say your one brand and your one website for that brand, I'd just stick to 1 pixel.
Okay, good. I don't need any more.
No.
I'm fine with that.
If you launched another website that was selling slippers, I'd say new pixel. Don't mix slippers data with data. Like keep those separate. Those are very different people buying very different products.
What if my same website is also selling cookware and widgets and something else? It's still okay to have just 1 pixel, correct? Because it's all under one website.
Yes. But there is probably an argument there for depending on how, like, if you're gonna run a lot of campaigns for just certain types of products, maybe you want to build out pixels for certain products. But if it's pretty much like all under the same brand, same type of customer, like you're gonna be very fine, especially at the beginning when you're trying to build the pixel and actually give it data and all that.
Okay.
You're gonna be very okay just leaving that all under 1 pixel. All right, so I think we're good to jump into the good stuff now. It looks like the pixel's all set up. You tell me now. We want to jump in and run some ads and talk targeting and placements and all that.
Yeah. Let's. I guess my first question is: here's Google. Let me see.
Oh yeah, Google. Sorry.
Here's Google Analytics. Do you find this a valuable tool? What, in your opinion, there's so many tools available. I mean, even Squarespace has its own analytics. Google has its analytics. Facebook has its own. I don't need 17 girlfriends.
Right.
Just one who gives me everything would be terrific. 2, if you tell me, well, because I had read some articles that Google might miss a couple things, and then Facebook could miss a couple of things, right? Because they don't all talk so perfectly to each other, like we all kind of miscommunicate with each other. So my question to you is, could you recommend how I should be living life in this universe of digital commerce? What's my responsibilities? What should I be doing? When I wake up during the day, a couple of times a day, if I'm not getting orders in, what am I supposed to be doing? So here are the 2 ads that I ran. I don't understand any of these results.
Okay.
And, and I'm having fun. If you can see the smile on my face, I just, it really doesn't bother me. It's like, what does it do? What did it do? I have no idea.
So your Memorial Day sale ad did get a purchase, and it did track it. If you look in the far right column.
Yes.
Yep. So
that's 1 purchase.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, sorry, I kind of cut you off, but That's a
No,
good
no,
thing.
no, no, no.
Really
You
good.
you tell me what I'm looking at. You tell me
Okay.
what's important. I
So,
don't know.
all
I
right.
spend $30 on it. If I got a sale for a $30 product, I guess it paid for itself, which is fun.
Sure. So let me address the overwhelmingness of all the different new stuff that you're seeing right now.
And
Uh,
if you also, sorry, but if you recommend customizing this, to certain whatever, tell me what to do.
okay.
You tell me the best way to set this up.
Okay, I will. Um, so are you familiar with baseball at all?
Like baseball, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So baseball is a sport that has been around for a long time and has tons and tons and tons and tons of statistics and data from everywhere and all different types of algorithms, blah 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 blah.
Right.
It's helpful, and there's a time and a place for all that sorts of stuff. But in
Yeah.
the end, like that's not what's making or breaking whether or not the athlete, the baseball player, is actually good or not. That's just a way to help them incrementally improve more and more and more, right? I look at all this data that we're coming across and all these different options and features inside of and all the different platforms that have all these different features and options, and all of them have their time, their place, the way in which they're helpful. But do you need to pay attention to all that? Is it what's gonna make or break you becoming like growing your business and making? No, like there's actually, and this is where I really try and, especially for like beginners, to really try and boil this down really simple, is like just worry about the few pieces of data, the few pieces of criteria that actually matter, which is pretty much like how much are you spending, and are you making money or losing money? And so that's like I really just try and keep it that simple, especially for beginners, because it is very easy to look at all these different things they're giving us and going, all right, well, how do I use all of this information? And that's a mistake. I'd say don't try and use all the information. Don't try and use all the systems. Figure out which ones you just like what are the core essential ones, and then just focus on those. And then once you've got those, like you have muscle memory built up around those, you have had success built up around those, then you can start to add on all the incremental extra data points that can make little changes here and there for you type of stuff. So I would say like don't completely normal to feel overwhelmed and be like, what's going on here? There's so much stuff. And I just say like that is very normal to feel. Don't worry too much about it, and don't try and focus on it all. Just try and focus on the stuff that's like, how much did I just spend? All right, did that make me money? And I'm gonna show you like all like the few. We'll set them up right here. The few columns that you actually want to look at to really analyze your ads well. So I guess before we go in and actually try and create any new ads or anything, let's just analyze what you already have here, because that'll be helpful for you and also a little bit helpful for me, just to see what's happened so far. And then I'll point out like, all right, here's which columns you need to pay attention to. And so let's just actually, I guess first let's start with campaigns, ad sets, and ads, because you said you were confused as far as like what's actually going on there. So the first thing you do is you set up a campaign, and I'll just stop there for now. But you set up a campaign, and then inside of your campaign you create different ad sets. Your ad sets are where you choose your targeting, who you're sending your ad to, how old they are, what they're interested in, if it's going to be shown on Instagram or Facebook or in Instagram stories, or like all that sorts of stuff. That's your ad set. That's the targeting section. Then inside of there is the ads, and that's your creative part. That's the image, that's the video, that's the headline, that's the copywriting, just the creative section. And so you create a campaign. Inside a campaign, you can create as many ad sets as you want, and then each of those ad sets is going to have ads, or it can be just one single ad, which is going to be the creative portion of it. So you've got the creative ad, then who do you send it to? That's the ad set, the targeting, and then all that is just exists inside of a campaign. So I just want, so like so right now we're in the ads tab, but if you click on campaigns, then now we're looking at the campaigns, and if you click into Memorial Day sale, now we're clicking into that campaign and looking at the ad sets in that campaign, which you only created one ad set for this campaign, so it's only showing one. But then now if you click on Memorial Day discount, Now that shows us the ad of that ad set, the creative of it.
Right here, where I'm hovering right there.
And now we're in the ad section.
Oh, the ad set.
So we were.
Oh, I see the tab down below. I see.
Yep.
I got you.
Yeah.
Ad for one ad set. Okay.
Yep. So this is the creative inside of the ad set that we just clicked on. So anyways, gotcha. That's how that works. So let's first back out to the campaign level.
Okay. So back to campaigns.
Yep. And so let's set up some columns real fast before we do that. Typically, yes, where I like to.
Let's just uncheck all this stuff.
I'll get to that in a second. So let's just set up some columns here. So if you click on the columns drop down menu where it says columns performance.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you scroll down and click on customize columns.
Yeah.
This is going to let us choose what we want to see here.
Yeah.
And what do you know? There's a million different options. So like there's literally so many in here. It's ridiculous. But let's just make sure we have the ones we need here. So
just tell me what you want to do, man. Tell me what you want to uncheck and what you want to check.
Okay, so on the right side, yep, this is what's already set up. So let's see if we can click some of these away. Name, bid strategy, budget. Let's click away last significant edit. And as you get more comfortable and like more knowledgeable with what's going on in here, you'll figure out your own ways to set up your columns, but. Like maybe you personally want to know when your last significant edit was. I never ever care about that, so I don't want that in my data. But maybe there's a reason for you to care about that. Feel free to make changes as you please. Cost per result, quality ranking. So the quality ranking, engagement ranking, conversion rate ranking. Let's just click those off.
Oops.
If you clicked off one extra, we'll get it back in there. Cost per result, amount spent, ends. I usually like that one off just because I don't usually schedule an end time for my ads. But if you do schedule an end date, then that might be helpful for you.
I'm gonna leave it on because I'm new and I don't want it to go on forever. And if I forget about it,
no problem.
And the money keeps going. Although I have put in a maximum spend of $200 just so things don't get out of control.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. So in the left column, if you just click on conversions, standard events. Up a little more.
So standard events?
Yeah. I think this might take us right there. Okay, yeah. Let's click on adds to cart, just the total box. Yeah. And then scroll down a little bit. Okay, we got purchases turned on. Okay, right above the purchases one where it says purchase ROAS, ROAS. That's going to be an important one. We'll talk about that in just a second. So let's click that on. And I think that's good for now. I think that's what we needed. So one thing I like to do is, so in the right column again, the conversion rate ranking and the engagement rate ranking, let's click those off.
Conversion rate?
Yeah. And then the engagement rate, yep. So the purchase ROAS and the website purchases, drag those up to right after amount spent. Yep. And then put website purchases just above the ROAS. And then bottom left of this box where it says save as preset, give that a click. So that'll save this for you so you can just click back into it. You can name it however you want.
Just to know what the hell it is.
Yeah, I was probably going to recommend that anyways.
And then hit apply?
Yep. It's funny because sometimes when I help people set up campaigns, they'll put my name in the campaign name so they know that it was me. But I'm always like, man, I hope the next time we come back in here, there's some good data sitting next to that campaign. It's got my name sitting right in it.
The truth is, it's all a crapshoot. Things work, things don't work, and you can't go down that rabbit hole and get it all upset that something didn't work.
It's true.
I don't know.
Okay, so
freaking out that something doesn't work, unless we spend thousands of dollars on something. But anyway,
that's what's nice about. So you talking about direct mail? Back in the day, direct mail or TV ads, there was no spend a couple hundred and see how it goes. It was like you got to have the full budget to even to
Yeah,
even.
and 2% response rate, 3%. That was great. They got a 4%. Amex was jumping up and down.
Yeah. But that's what's cool about these is, I mean, you can for $40, like run some tests and put real ads in front of real people and see if they really perform.
That's why I'm so excited here, man. Believe
Yeah.
me, I am. I'm very excited. I realize, I don't know if I'm reaching. Like it says 4741 reach. I don't even know what that means. I reached
Okay.
what?
Perfect. Let's go through these now. So I'll break down what each one of these is, and then really there's just like one or two that are the most important ones. So campaign name column, that's straightforward, the name of your campaigns. Delivery, it's saying completed right now because my guess is you had an end date and that end date occurred.
That's
so these campaigns have completed. Bid strategy, that's going to tell you how your bidding budget is going to tell you what your budget is for the campaign. If you set a campaign budget, I typically like to set my budgets at the ad set level instead of the campaign level. We can talk more about that when we get there.
Yeah, I would get that. I would understand that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So reach. That number is how many people. Let me make sure I get this right. Reach and impressions. So, impressions is how many times your ad was shown to people, or how many times your ad was shown, is impressions, and then reach is how many people saw your ad. And I think if you even hover over where it says reach and impressions, it might even give you a little pop-up that has an explanation. Yeah, there you go. So number of people who saw your ads at least once is your reach, and that's what I said.
So out of 4,741, I got one conversion. I made one purchase.
Yep.
Okay, let you continue.
Yeah. You so I'm just. So right here, for example, don't get hung up on reach. Like really, okay. What you need to get hung up on is amount spent and ROAS.
Because amount spent and what?
ROAS, ROAS, your return on ad spend.
Yep.
Which is going to be a reflection of your purchases and how much people spent when they made a purchase.
Okay.
And I'll dive right into that more in a second. But I just wanted to explain what the reach and impressions are, which you're right. 4,700 people saw your ad and one person bought. In your other campaign, 410 people saw the ad and then no one bought it.
Okay.
Impressions is how many times your ad was shown. So your ad could potentially get shown but not be seen. And so that's where why your impressions are a little bit higher than your reach, is because impressions is number of times shown, reach is number of times actually seen.
Right.
So
and the truth is, just because you don't get a sale, I mean, I think people also get very hung up on, I didn't get a sale. But sometimes you can still make an impression on your consumer audience, even if they don't buy anything. It's like a billboard. I mean, just because you see a Coca-Cola ad and you didn't buy anything doesn't mean that the ad didn't work, right? It's all about brainwashing, correct?
Yeah, there's absolutely truth to that. And repetition is one of the biggest. I mean, why does McDonald's advertise? It just so repetitively. Why are there still McDonald's billboards? It's just to keep them top of mind. Just repeat in our heads, McDonald's, McDonald's, McDonald's. So,
exactly.
Yeah, oftentimes, and I know I'm this way, specifically with people, like YouTubers, for example. It typically takes me 2 or 3 times coming across them and having heard or seen them before I will actually go look into them and actually be like, all right, well, who are they? What is their content? Let's take a different look. And it's the same. I mean, the same studies have been done for a long time now with products and selling stuff. Is oftentimes it takes 2, 3, 6 points of contact before they actually transition into, here's my money, I'm now a customer.
All right, cool. All right.
And then amount spent, that's going to be an important one to pay attention to for obvious reasons. You need to know how much you're spending.
Right.
Results. Okay, but these 2 different campaigns are giving you 2 different results. One is link clicks and one is post engagement. And that has to do with how you set them up. So I can show you how to set them up. So the results you'll want to choose is conversions or purchases. instead of link clicks or post engagement.
Oh,
Since we're focused on making sales and conversions, that's what we want to use. I'll show you how to do that.
okay.
Cost per result, that's pretty straightforward. So like in this case, the results you chose were clicks, so it's going to tell you how much per click. When we choose our result as purchases, then this will tell you how much you had to spend in order to make a purchase.
And that's going to be pretty expensive, right? It's going to cost $35.65 to get one purchase.
Right. For yeah. In this case, if we had chosen purchases as the result, it would show a 35.65
Totally
cost per result.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Gotcha.
Okay. And then if you hover over purchase ROAS, so you can get that little definition of it.
Okay.
Total return on ad spend from purchases. All right, that's kind of a lame definition, but basically what it's telling you is, so it's calculating you spent this much, they bought this much, and then it calculates, if that was profitable or not for you. So if it's under 1, then it was not profitable. You lost money. Ideally, you want to see it over 1, and in your best case scenarios, you're going to see a ROAS of 2, 4, 6, 8. Impossible for me to say what your ROAS could potentially be, but the higher the better. So the main things you want to come in here and analyze is, at least this is how I do it. I go, were there purchases? Like, were there results? Were there conversions? In this case, yeah, we got one website purchase. I'm like, awesome. What's the ROAS on it? 0.84. Oof, not so great. How much did I spend? 35.65. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not profitable. That's just running ads and losing money. But if I came in here and I was like, ooh, website purchases 3, that looks great. ROAS 2.2. Wow, that's awesome. And then it's like, keep running that ad, scale that ad because that ad's working and making you money.
Right. Gotcha.
And all the website purchase, the ROAS, that's all calculated off of having the pixel installed. Have you heard of lookalike audiences yet? No? Okay, so basically, and this is really powerful. You'll definitely want to do this in the future. But once you get 100, couple hundred sales through your website, you can basically say to Facebook, hey Facebook, here's look at all the people that look at all the people that purchased, build another audience based off of those people, and let me run ads to that audience, and that's called a lookalike audience. And that's where things get really powerful, because that's just like you've got enough data to say to Facebook's AI, like, hey, look at these people, figure out who they are, find more of them for me so we can put our ad in front of them so they'll buy this product and we all make more money.
Let me ask you a quick question, though. How do you find people always have a choice to open or not open an ad or something? Over time, let's just say, I do this lookalike thing and I do it again. Don't you start getting to a threshold where people start getting upset that they're getting so many ads, and I assume you space it out over time. I mean, you don't want to do everything in 1 month, but do you find that people either start complaining, that you start getting warnings from whoever? Because I even know when I get ads all the time from people that it's got like baby diapers. I'm not married and I don't have kids. What do I need to see baby diaper ads for? Yeah. So click, don't show me this from the site. So if you're doing lookalike audiences after time, do you find that people get upset at all, or does that not come back to you?
Not really. I mean, there's definitely truth to what you're saying, but the most that will happen from someone seeing your ad too many times is they'll just get irritated. They'll be a little bugged by it, and yeah, I mean that you don't want your brand to annoy people. Obviously, like that's not good. But then there's also an argument for, like what we just talked about. Sometimes the points of contact need to happen 3, 5, 6 times. They need to see you that many times, and then they're like, okay, what's going on here?
Right. Okay, great. Sorry I interject so much.
No.
I could sit here for hours and ask you questions.
Yeah, no, that was a great question too. And the frequency column, if we look at it showing 1.01, 1.02, that's what's actually going to tell you how many times someone has seen your ad. So if your frequency is at like 2, 3, 4, 5, that means people have seen your ad multiple times. And so that's called ad fatigue, where people have seen your ad so many times that it's just not effective anymore, or at all, or maybe it never even is. But that's your frequency will help you understand how many times the same person has seen your ad, and that'll help you decide okay, is it they've seen it too many times. And then you can also pay attention to, like, as your frequency climbs, are you getting less conversions, or are your conversions just still climbing as well? Because if your frequency is climbing, meaning more people, or the people are seeing your ads multiple times, the same ad multiple times, if conversions are still climbing normal, then there's no problem with that because it's just still working. But if people start seeing your ads more and more and more, and you see your conversions start to drop down, then that's saying, all right, they're sick of seeing this ad. It's not really working as well anymore. So throw a new ad in there.
That's so funny. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So I have a 1.01 to 1.02. That means someone's seen the ad once, and that was it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep. And so, but if if these ads were still running, and you come back in a week and the frequency's up at like 3, then people have seen your ad multiple times now.
Okay.
The same ad. So does that all make sense? This is kind of.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I got you.
Okay, cool. So the main thing here in these columns is
What's the unique link clicks? The last one.
Unique link clicks is unique. Just means someone who hasn't clicked it before. So brand new person clicked the link, whatever link, like that means they clicked to your website. A random new person who never has before saw the ad, clicked it, and went to your website.
Okay. And you want that on the column, right? I didn't accidentally put it on.
You could take that off. That one's not super important. Again, like really the main thing is just like how much did you spend? It's your amount spent, your results, your cost per result, which is your website purchases, your ROAS. Like it's just those ones. Like pay attention to how much you spent, did it make sales, and then how much did you make?
Okay.
That's really it.
And did you want to change this to the click, or you wanted to change something here?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you said instead of clicks or something, maybe it was cost per.
Oh yeah. So the results.
Yeah.
But you have to do that when you're setting up a new campaign, a new ad set.
I see. Okay, so I gotcha.
What happened when you set these up the first time is what you chose as the result you wanted Facebook to track was link clicks, and so that's what it tracked.
So
but now when we set up new ones, we'll tell it to track purchases, and it'll track that instead.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I think if you feel good with these columns and knowing what they are and kind of how to analyze them, then I think we can maybe set up some ads if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I mean, I'm as comfortable as a new guy can be. I mean,
sure.
I understand what I'm looking at, but still, it's.
I mean, I guess you tell me at this point what would be best for you. Do you want to, because you want to become dangerous, so we've got everything set up to where now you can run the ads and actually see if they are successful.
Because the truth is, the ads I ran was because of you. I mean, your Facebook, your YouTube video really helped me. I mean, I don't know why people thank you a lot, but it really helped, and just the basic understanding about what to do, what's important, how to choose your audience. It all came from you. Whether it worked or not, I don't care. That's irrelevant. Which I'm just having fun here. So yeah, let's do that. Let's set up an ad.
Cool. I appreciate hearing that. And I will say,
ad from Instagram, or do we set one up on Facebook? I don't really know.
We'll do it here on Facebook. I will say though, I mean, I'd prefer, given that you set these ads up based off of my tutorials, that your ROAS was like a 2, But I always say, and this is how I have experienced this the last years of my life, is like, if you make a sale, even if it's not profitable, like that's a step in the right direction. You're on the right track. Like I just see people too many times be like, oh, it did. Yeah, okay, cool. I got to sell, but it didn't make me money. It's like, yeah, but you got to sell. You went from knowing nothing to like now you just did all these systems, ran these ads, spent some money and all this stuff, and you actually got to sell. So like that's a really good start. So I just see that as the fact that you're that new at all this, but you were able to actually get ads up that made a real sale. Like, dude, that's a lot. What more can you really want at your very, very first go at running an ad? I mean, that's amazing.
I'm a happy guy. Yeah. I'm not complaining. But
now we got to make them profitable, so we can
yeah.
do that.
So
now.
let's do that.
Let me first see how you set up your ad set. So if you click on Memorial Day sale, and then if you hover over Memorial Day discount, and then click on the little edit underneath it. Yep. And this is me just taking a look at your targeting. Okay. So if you wouldn't mind just scrolling down. 25 daily budget. Just keep scrolling. Audience, a little more. 30 to 55. All graphics, interest behaviors. Manual placements. Instagram feed. Okay, so you ran it 30 to 55-year-olds on Instagram feed.
That's correct. Once all my products, I didn't know that I had to tag 5 products at a time and then post to Instagram, and then I immediately deleted the ad to populate the Instagram products, like the view shop. So now that they're all populated on Instagram, I'm a happy guy.
Okay. And then up at the top where it says one ad, it's kind of got the arrows, like very, very top. It's Memorial Day arrow, Memorial Day discount arrow, one ad. Top center.
Yes, Memorial Day right here.
Yeah, click on the one ad.
One ad.
Yep. And now, so we just went from ad set. Now we're going into the ad. Now I just want to see what your ad looked like. So it's just this image here.
I beg your pardon?
That image right there is the ad.
Yeah, it says I just uploaded a picture of the product.
Yeah. Okay. Well, man, I'd say so you ran an ad 30 to 55-year-olds Instagram feeds with just one still image like that, and you got to sell. It's pretty good. I see a lot of room for improvement because you didn't do any interest targeting. There's just a lot of room for improvement here. So that's good to see that with as things are, you made a sale.
Let's improve, man. Let's improve. Let's have some fun.
And I'm not saying that as what I'm looking at is garbage. Like this is, you did a great job, but there's just things we can do to improve. So that's great.
Let's have some fun. I mean, yeah, when you say improve, of course we're gonna improve. This is, this is nothing. So let's create a new ad.
Okay, so let's click over to the left out of this little box.
This thing?
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then click on the ad sets tab again. There's just one more thing I want to look at here. Hover over Memorial Day discount and then click on view charts. Click on demographics. Oh, that's right. We did link clicks, huh? Dang it.
I do know that on Google Analytics and stuff, and I do know from other, my audience is mostly women. It's like 77% women.
Okay.
They bake and they cook.
Right. Okay. So since, just for your edification here, since you chose as your results, since you chose a result as link clicks, it's showing us data here based off of link clicks. But if we'd chosen it as purchases, then we could come in here and it would tell us, so that one purchase that came through this advertisement, we could come in here and see that one purchase came from a 25 to 34-year-old woman.
Okay.
But in this case, it's link clicks, so we're unfortunately not able to see that. But in the future now, you'll be able to know exactly that. All right, okay. So let's just set up some ads then.
All right.
So let's go to the campaign tab, because if you click create right here, it might just try and create a new ad set.
Should I unselect this? Should I X out this thing?
Sure, that's fine. I'm pretty particular about that. I like to keep all this like very. I don't like when stuff's clicked on. I usually do what you just did, which is like if I go to the campaign, I make sure everything else is clicked off, just so I'm not clicking into something I'm not supposed to or stuff like that. So if we just click the green create button. All right, and then so we're creating a campaign. We're gonna want to choose a conversions campaign. And my guess is last time you chose traffic. or brand awareness. Or I guess you did if it tracked it, you did choose conversions at least
Yeah,
for one of
I think
them.
I did conversions. Yeah.
Okay. Give it a campaign name.
Oh,
Down. It's down at the bottom.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Uh, and continue.
Yep. Okay, now we're into the ad set section. If you look into the left column, it shows you which
Yeah.
section
Well,
you're in. So we're in the ad set section, and then yeah. So ad
so
set name, I usually go through and set all my targeting, and then come back and put the name and create a name according to all the targeting that I've chosen.
sounds good. Sounds good. Okay.
Click off the add to cart where it says
Oh,
add to cart.
click that off.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then choose purchase.
Ah. Okay.
And now it's going to track purchases for us. And
Gotcha.
that's the good stuff. I like to say this for cost control. I wouldn't do anything now, but once you ran some ads and you have an idea of kind of what your cost per purchase is going to be roughly, then that's when might be a good time to do some cost control stuff. But for now, I'll just leave that blank. Dynamic creative, let's not do that. Offer, let's not do that. Audience. So custom audiences section, we're not going to be able to do anything there now, but once, like we talked about, you've got enough sales where you can create a lookalike audience, then that's where you'll be in that custom audiences section is where you'll be able to select the lookalike audiences that you create.
Okay.
Location, United States. Let's probably leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine for now.
Okay. I mean, you ship worldwide, I'd imagine, or most countries, or is it just U.S.?
And for my e-commerce, I'm just doing free shipping United States.
Okay.
For right.
Okay.
And do you think I should just do it to women?
So I would look at this. I would do this one of two ways, and it's up to you. Either way works. So what you could do is just leave it like this, both genders, run it, and then go back in and look at those charts that we were just trying to look at and see, did the women purchase, did the men purchase? You could test it that way, or you could just create two different ad sets where one ad set is 35 to 60-year-old male, and then the other ad set is 35 to 60-year-old female, and you can just run both of those ad sets and see which one performs better. If females performs better than males, then you've got a pretty good idea that females.
But this will tell me also, right? I mean, this will tell me if I get women. One ad set will tell me whether or not I got women or men, right?
Right. You'll just have to go in and click into the charts and look at that. If you separated them out when you're just looking at the columns that would set up, if you created two different ad sets, you'd be able to see, okay, this ad set got X purchases, this ad set got X purchases. The only difference is if you keep them all in the same one right here, you just got to go click into that chart and then analyze from there. The data's there either way. It's just.
But you can also do if you separate the men and the women independently, you can change the color of one and see the response to that, and then the men, whatever. So I get that. Let's leave it all genders. I'm fine with that.
Okay. I will say that type of testing is called A/B testing or split testing. Yeah, and that is a very, very always be doing that with your Facebook ads. So we're fine to go set this up, but don't. Definitely be very willing to run A/B test and split test. And I have a video of that on my channel. That's a good one showing you how to do that and talking about why and all that. So that'd be a good one to look into. But for now, yeah, we're good. But yeah, definitely after you let this one run and as it's making conversions, especially go in and look at the data and analyze. All right, is it female? Is it male? Is it pretty split? You're definitely gonna want to figure that out. And let the data tell you. I know, intuitively, yeah, it makes more sense that it's probably women, but it's always just safer to let the data tell you, is it? Or maybe it is men. Maybe it's men buying it for their wife or their girl. You're probably right. I'd say you're probably right. It's probably women. But just in case, let the data really tell you what's going on. Okay, the detailed targeting section. Yeah. Click edit. This section is really, really powerful. Have you been in here at all yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I did actually. I think I wrote the word cooking, mixing,
Okay.
baking, stuff like
Okay.
that.
So where it has the detailed targeting expansion clicked on, click that off. That's Facebook just kind of trying to take more of your money. We don't want to do that.
Okay.
So detailed targeting, I would do. I mean, right here, this a great way to approach this. There's several ways, but a really really good straightforward way is to just target your competitors. So KitchenAid, OXO. Yep. Okay. And so what you could do is also add in OXO, also add in, I don't know, whatever brand, but I would recommend that you don't do that.
Oh,
What I would do is I would create a split test where we'll go finish setting up this whole ad, but then I'd
right.
go create another one where everything's exactly the same. The only thing you change is you delete KitchenAid and you put OXO. And
Gotcha.
so then those ads run, and when the data comes back, you'll be able to look at that and go, wow, KitchenAid surprisingly actually doesn't perform very well, but OXO is killing it. So let's just keep running ads to OXO. Like,
Very interesting. Very interesting.
no clue if that's going to be the case, but that's why you want to separate them out. If you threw all of the brands in right here, when the data comes back, say you got conversions,
You're not gonna know
which audience did they come from? You don't know.
What about generic words like cooking, baking, cupcakes,
Yeah.
flour, sugar?
I would test those as well. I wouldn't put them in a different test, but I would test those as interests as well.
Do you want to just leave this as KitchenAid by itself for
Yeah,
right now?
yeah, let's just do that for now. I'm going to show you one thing. We're not going to leave this on for this ad, but I'll show you this while we're right here. If you click on narrow audience, right under KitchenAid in the blue, exclude people or narrow audience.
Narrow.
Yeah, click narrow. Okay, and so now what it's doing is, first we told it you need to target people that match KitchenAid, and now we're saying they must also match whatever we put in. So let's throw in cooking now, for example.
Actually, you know what? Not cooking, baking.
Baking, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Give that a click. And so now what Facebook has to do for our targeting is put our ad in front of people that like KitchenAid and also must like baking. So we're funneling KitchenAid people through baking, and then the people left over out of that is who we're showing our ad to.
Gotcha. So basically, what I'm doing right now is I want to go to KitchenAid, and they have 799,000. No, they have 794,000 people like the page. 800,000 people follow the page. So technically speaking, am I targeting an audience that's worth 800,000 people?
Yeah. So go hover your mouse over KitchenAid on Facebook. Yeah. So the pop up to the right, audience size is 11.8 million. So it's definitely, so it's using that Facebook page, but it's got other data points that it's pulling off of to create the KitchenAid audience as well.
I guess it does, because it went from 800,000 to 11.8 million. Okay, great data, man. I appreciate what you're telling me. Okay, what's next?
So let's click off baking for now, but I just wanted to show you that that's there, and that can narrowing through different targeting gets really powerful. Like if you ran,
I get it.
Yeah. Okay. And that's, play around with that stuff. That's honestly where I have the most fun with Facebook ads, is in the interest targeting. Like, just, I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun to play around in there.
Understood.
And then by the way, over here on the right, the audience size and the estimated daily results. The audience size is good to pay attention to. You do want to pretty much, keep the meter in the green. The potential reach right now it's showing is 2.8 million. And if you go type in cooking back into the
yes,
it'll change that, yeah. And then the estimated daily results, kind of pay attention to that, but I just, there's been so many times where it's straight up told me this ad will not get you any results, like you need to fix it, and I still run it and it still works just fine. So they very much are estimates. Like right here it's saying how we have everything set up. We'll reach 830 to 2.4K people, and that'll be less than 10 conversions. It's just an estimate. Like, really don't rely on that. Rely on running the ad and getting the real data back and going off it that way. But it just want to point that out, because some people will take that as like
Gospel.
yeah, as gospel, and like if it's saying one thing there, then I gotta. But it's just an estimate. Okay, so now we can scroll down to placements.
It's funny. I don't even understand how they can come up with that number if I have an audience of 2.8 million. How can they?
Based on your budget. So like yeah, there's 2.8 million, but you're only gonna spend $20 a day. So that's saying
Oh,
you're 20.
okay, I got you. Yeah, it'll change. Right. I did that before. I put $30 in. I saw the result. I put $20 in.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So placement.
Go manual. You can run auto and see how that, and then go in after and look at the charts and see how it performed.
Okay.
Maybe maybe Facebook finds something that way that you don't on your own. But manually is usually better. And then yeah, a bunch of different options here. But I think you've kind of already got the idea that it's pretty much going to be your feeds and your stories that you're going to want to run ads to. Your Facebook feed and your Instagram feed, your Facebook stories and your Instagram stories. Some of the other ones can absolutely work, but that's really going to be, if you want to test those. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. If I chose Facebook, I have a very small audience for Facebook. I have like 1,700 followers after 12 years. We haven't really done much with it. So when I choose platform, does it mean that people won't see the ad unless they come to my platform, or it's still going to? What does it mean by platform? Can you explain that?
So like me, I use Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, right? If you want to run your ad to me, which one of those are you going to run it? Are you going to send it to me on LinkedIn? Are you going to send it to me on Instagram? Are you going to send it to me on Facebook? If you're going to send it to me on Facebook, are you going to send it into my Facebook feed, or are you going to send it into my Facebook stories?
Okay, so it's outbound. It has nothing to do with my personal sites or anything.
It's where you want the audience to see your ad.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
Where is best for them to see your ad?
And what's your recommendation for today for this ad?
So my recommendation is to test to figure out which one is best. But the ones I would test are Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Facebook stories, and Instagram stories. Now, I don't have to do those all in this one, but those are the different placement platforms that I would test. And then the other ones also might be worth testing, but those are let's keep this simple and not do too much, So Messenger, Audience Network, click those off. And that'll leave us with all the Facebook and Instagram clicked on.
Okay.
So if we look at just the feeds here, right? So like marketplace, video feeds, right column, all that, click it off. We want to choose just Facebook news feed and or Instagram feed.
Okay, I lost you already. So okay. That's what you want off?
Here, let's just click everything off.
Everything off?
Yeah, just click everything off, and then we'll click on the ones that we want.
Okay.
So this is, remember in the interest section in the targeting where I was like, it's kind of better to separate them out into different tests so you can see more clearly. That's kind of the same thing here. But like in the what section was it? I just want to make sure I'm explaining this clearly for you. So I personally like to separate them out into different ad sets and test them that way. You can, for example, put Instagram feed and Facebook news feed, click both of those on, but then you'll have to go in after, click into the charts and see, is it Instagram or Facebook that's performing better? And then sometimes also what can happen is, if Facebook thinks one's better than the other, it'll just keep feeding the budget to Instagram feed and won't really feed it to Facebook feed. And so maybe Facebook feed didn't get properly tested, so maybe that's why you want to do them in two different ad sets.
It's like the men-women thing.
Yeah, exactly that.
So let's just set this up. What do you want to try? I don't.
I'd say so. The other campaign you did Instagram feed, right, and that worked.
That's correct.
I mean, let's try Instagram feed, and if you want to test Facebook feed as well, you could add that in, and like you said with the age, click into the chart and see how that performed. But
yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's see what happens.
Okay. And then I click everything else off now.
Okay. Oh, this stuff too?
Yeah.
Story?
Yep.
And stream?
Yep. Just everything else, yeah.
Okay, everything.
So this way, and you'll see that I guess it didn't. Our audience size didn't change that much actually.
Conversion 0.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right, yeah. So we're pretty much there now. Your daily budget, however much you want to spend. My recommendation on a daily budget, you can go very low, like $2 or something. Maybe you've heard me say this in my videos, but I just think it's better like to give Facebook enough money like enough money to play with. Like, don't suffocate Facebook. Don't restrict it too much. And so how like what's kind of like the cost of the product on your website? Like 50, 25?
Well, I mean, I sell.
Oh, you sell other stuff too, but
For $199, but the average is averaging $25, $26.
okay. See, I mean, both can work. I lean much more to try and give as much budget as possible so Facebook has enough to play with.
Okay.
And one way I kind of look at it is like if kind of a common sale is going to be $25,
Yep.
like,
is it 10%? I know with Amazon they say your AMS advertising should be 10% of whatever their purchases are. Whatever your sales on are. So if you have $100,000 in Amazon of sales, you should be putting $10,000 behind it in advertising.
yeah, I don't know if you necessarily need to look at it like that per se. I just look at it as like if you want to make a $25 sale, how much money are you willing to give Facebook to make that sale for you? If you're only willing to give it $2 to make a $25 sale, man, you're hoping for a miracle, right? Like,
right.
Hopefully that works. That'd be amazing. But
so $8 over. So how many days are we gonna run this thing? 7 days.
up to you. So I guess at this point, let's talk a little bit about like what your budget is and how you like. Are we talking about $50 we want to spend? Are we talking about 500? Are we talking about 5,000, 50,000?
I would say
just here for this first test.
Yeah, just for the first. Well, I've already done 2 tests. I've spent $64, but who cares about that?
Our first test.
I don't know. Let's do another $50 test. I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so do you want to spend that? So I'm looking at it like this. Do you want to spend? I'm trying to figure out what's your budget, and then are we going to be able to allocate that budget to several ad sets to test several different things, or are we just going to allocate that budget to one ad set right now?
I see what you're saying. Do we have time to do a split? Do we have time to do maybe 2 different ads, and then let's do $100 and we'll do $50 and $50, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, sure. And then do you want to
run it for 5-6 days? We just came off Memorial Day, so I don't know if now's the time to do it or not, or maybe it is. I don't know. And then do I have to cross pollinate this with Squarespace and put a discount? I mean, I don't know what we're advertising here. What are we saying? Are we saying just come to us and buy stuff, or are we saying get 10% off? Because if we're saying 10% off or whatever, I have to go over to Squarespace and set that up, which is fine. I can do it, but I got to do it. I got to remember to do it because people are going to come. They're going to see an ad for 10% off. They're going to come to my site, and it's not going to say enjoy 10% off.
Right. I mean, we could do that if we wanted, but like for example, the last ad you ran did nothing like that, and it got a conversion, right? So I would say let's just not.
It was a 10% off.
Oh, it was a 10% off.
Say 10% off, yeah. And then I did it also on Squarespace, 10% off.
Is that already set up like that right now? Like, do you have the 10% off set up on Squarespace?
Memorial Day's over, so I took the pop off.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's up to you. If you want to do a discount thing, you can do that, and like you'll have to go set that up Squarespace wise.
We don't have to. I mean, it's just usually when you advertise to somebody, well, I guess Burger King says come on in just to eat. Is that what you were thinking of? Maybe just doing the ad just to get someone who bakes?
I guess to be completely honest, I hadn't gone all the way down to are we working into this percentage off of the sale. I was just more focused on like let's get ads running to your website because.
Okay, great. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm totally hip with that.
I think you're right. That like if you work in some sort of little discount or incentive, that's going to incentivize people more. You don't have to. Like, there's plenty of ads that work without offering discounts.
So let's do that. Let's forget about the discount for now. Let's set up a budget. So let's say it's $50. So, and we're gonna run it over a week. So that's what 7 times 5, 35. So it's almost like $10 a day for 5 days, or $8, $8 a day for 7 days, $49. Does that work for you, or you think I'm doing?
I mean, yes, that works. If it was me personally, I'd try and move more toward like closer to maybe like a $20 budget a day. Just because again, I'd rather have Facebook have enough to play with than not enough.
We're in $20.
Okay. And then you can run ad set continuously, but if you're worried about something happens and you can't get back to it, then you do a start and end date.
Yeah, let me do that just in case I forget.
Yeah.
Today's the 27th. It'll start it. This may or may not be right, but I don't even care. So it's $140 we're going to put in. I'm cool with that.
Okay. See, like right here, you're getting a make it 0 purchases.
Yeah, that's okay.
Should be fine. And the potential reach for your audience is 2.8 million. So you could, that's a pretty big audience. You could narrow it, through like cooking and stuff like that, but we won't do that for now. We don't need to do that for now.
Yeah. So now do we have to name the ad?
Yeah, so give it a name. And I just name it based off of the targeting that I put in. So I'd put like...
Yeah, I put KitchenAid ad in.
35... Yeah, okay, if that's good for you. I usually put like 35 to 55, if it's, one gender or the other. The targeting that I chose. It's really whatever helps you understand the best.
Yeah, I get it.
What you did. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and click continue. So just make sure you have your Instagram account selected. Or, yeah, because we chose Instagram. So, yeah, make sure. So, like, your Facebook page is there. Now Instagram account underneath it. Yeah, just make sure you got. Yep.
Should I name it the same thing?
This you'd want to. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
works
that's
best
fine.
for you.
I'll go with this. Single image or video. So use existing post.
I would go create ad. You just have to create that same ad again. Do you remember what it was?
I just used an existing post on Instagram.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can create an ad though, I guess.
Yeah. That's interesting that you just created a post. That might be worth testing too.
Right here, single image.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and then scroll down to media. Click add media, add image, and then you'll just need to find an image. If you click on upload, you can upload one from off of your computer. Got your image there. Honestly, you're creative. You should also do some tests. Like I imagine, like a video could do well. You've got the little video of it spinning. Something like that could work well. And all of that's gonna it's a little bit annoying that every step in this matters so much, but every step does. Like the targeting matters so much, like who you're putting your ad in front of, but then also the ad that they're seeing, whether it's an image or a video, and what's the video about, what's the psychology, what matters a lot. So
Of course, that's ad man. That's why you pay advertising guys.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to change this to my video.
Okay, sure.
But I link my video from Vimeo. Is that how they'll do it, or do I have to download the video? I have it on my computer.
How long is it?
It's just a loop. It's like a 15-second loop, 30-second loop.
Yeah, you should be able to just upload it from your computer then. Yeah, so now we just write the primary text.
All right, I'll come up with some text because I know you got to go. So is there anything else important that I need to know here?
Yeah. So
that I don't really need you here for?
Yes, your website URL, where the page that they land on is very important. I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend sending them just to your home page.
Yeah, I'm going to go to to where the products are.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe even straight to the product page.
That's where I'm going to send them. Yeah. Okay. Exactly correct.
And then for the call to action button, where it says "Learn More," down a little bit. I want to make sure you get what we got on this call for. So.
Yeah. I don't know where you're at. Call to action. Yeah.
Yeah. So that gives you a bunch of different ones. You could do, I think is there a purchase now or a buy now? I think you can scroll down, but the learn more button is usually the best one. So that's the one that's selected. I'd recommend probably just using that one.
Learn more?
Yep. You don't need to worry about the languages. You've already selected it. Yeah, you're good. The last thing here is then the tracking. You just need to make sure that that's on and it's showing a green dot, which it is. So that looks good. Our tracking is going to be in place,
Okay.
and that's it. Like once you've just finished your headline and your product description,
Is it
so
okay?
that's
Because
just
I
saying that you need to go finish your headline and stuff.
this error over here, it's just because I haven't finished all this stuff yet, right?
Yep,
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, great. Excellent. Do you do this professionally for, like, if I said to you, hey, Alex, I want you to be my marketer? I mean, not marketer, but
Yeah, run ads for you. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. What do you
It
do? You do that?
yeah, it depends. I do. The straight answer is yes, I do. Then followed up with it depends. And what it depends on is, can we come up with the right structure that works for each other? A lot of it depends on the product. Lots of products I just like don't even care to, even if they're like, hey, we'll pay you to. I just like I don't really care to advertise that product. But
Okay.
I'd be interested in advertising your product. I don't have any problems with that.
Okay.
So then it's like, well, it's like, do you pay me up front to run the ads? That's one option, or like a monthly retainer to run the ads, whatever. And the other option is a revenue share. So like, oh, you don't pay me anything up front, and then I take 20% is usually what it is, but 20% of whatever the sales are that I generate. So
20% of the gross or 20% of the net? Or,
it's usually a revenue share, so off of the sales number,
wow,
the
20%, that's a lot, man. I don't even pay my reps that much. I mean, Amazon takes 16%, but we can talk about that, I guess.
yeah.
Because I mean, one other way I would say is, well, if you run ads and we're not getting any pull, I mean, it would be based on what's being generated, kind of like a sales guy. I mean, theoretically, you'd be not a sales guy, but you would be.
No, I mean it's and I truthfully, as long as I mean, it's really difficult when I can, or near impossible, when someone just like doesn't have a good product or doesn't have any really good anything in place for them to come to me and say, hey, like run ads and we'll split it with you on the back end. It's like,
Right.
I kind of need, I gotta have confidence in that there is a back end.
Of course,
Um,
of course. No, that's totally no.
yeah,
Yeah, the good thing is I've got a very established brand. I mean, I sold 1.2 million over. So we're worldwide, well known. I mean, just Google me. Google the product. It's everywhere. Okay, great. All right, I appreciate it. I'm going to run this ad, and I'll let you know when I start to get some data.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention too is even before having to commit to another call or anything, one thing I like to do is, if you're willing, is once you have some data, if you just send me some screenshots. I always like to look at it just to see how like our session's performing, and then but I also usually try and, if as long as I can see something, that I usually from those screenshots I'll usually just try and tell you in an email instead of like trying to force another call. I'll just be like, do this, 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 and this. So like if you're
right,
willing to send me some data, I can look at it. I can give you my honest take on do this, don't do this. We should jump on a call, let the data run. Maybe next week's a good time for a call. Um, yeah, ultimately, just know I'm flexible, man. Like, and even like the 20%, like in this case, I probably would be interested in having a conversation about a revenue or a profit share, and we can have those conversations. Everything comes down ultimately to like just negotiating. I'm not one to just be like, this
yeah.
is, if you don't hit this, we're not talking anymore. So it's like, um, feel free to ask questions, negotiate, whatever you want.
Okay. That sounds great.
Ultimately, I want to help you, but it's got to be fair both ways. But
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. No, hey, look, nobody gets anything for free. I don't want anything for free. But if it's logical and we can maybe set something up, and I appreciate you're taking a look at some data and just give me some tips afterwards. And if it makes sense to have another session, we will. And because there are a lot. You tell you the truth, some of the stuff that we were setting up before, I've already forgotten how to even do it. If I had to get back into some of that stuff, I don't even think I could.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stuff. So let me finish this off. Let me get it going, and I will definitely keep in touch. I appreciate everything, and maybe we can do something even a little bit deeper, because I mean I got a company to run, and I can't. Well, as much fun as I find this, I'd rather have it in the hands of a professional.
right.
Someone who knows what they're doing, and I have to assume that you know what you're doing. Although I haven't, you haven't provided me with any data. I haven't asked for it either about like what companies have you done. How have you increased their their revenues. Can you, it's just like a job interview. I mean, what have you done? You got to prove to me that you know what you're doing. Besides,
I mean,
around and knowing what you do.
I make it a point to put plenty of that on my channel. So there's
Okay.
those yeah. I don't. That's a big part for me. Like if I'm gonna put information on the internet saying like here's how to do things, I better have some proof. I better have done that. Plenty of people don't do that. They'll just like throw up tutorials and have actually never done it. But no, and I've made sure to that stuff's in my videos too, so it's there.
Yeah, I tell you I appreciate it again your video because I like the idea of follow the numbers. The numbers don't lie. It's like accounting. You follow the numbers, and you just have a very calm way of doing stuff. And so terrific.
Cool. Thanks, Gary. I think you're in a good spot here. Pixel's good. I don't think you should worry too much about that.
Yeah.
It should be good. And so now I just get some tests going. Use some interest targeting. Yeah, I think you're in a good spot now. You've got that one conversion, so you know that you can get conversions. And now we've just made sure your pixels set up right, and now we've got some good, what should be some better targeting, and then you can just keep improving from there.
You know what I did want to ask real quickly?
Yeah.
The Facebook data that I get sometimes, it shows me dollars and cents. How does Facebook know what I'm charging? Is it because the pixel is talking?
Yep. That's how it tells you what your ROAS is, what your cost per purchase is. Yeah, it's looking at your website and keeping track of everything.
Okay, so that's what it's
whether that's ultimately good or bad, but
yeah, it became a little bit Big Brother. It was like suddenly it was like, holy shit, I know what it's doing. And I realized the pixel is obviously communicating with each other, and Facebook knows what's going in or whatever. But it was just kind of weird. It was like it almost knows more than what Google knows, and it was one of those strange things.
Yeah, it's exactly that. All right, Gary.
Hey, Alex, thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.
You too.
I'll let you know what's going on.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one.
Yeah, man.